Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today is October 31st, 2012, and this is the thejunksynchronhero. And I don't really have anything too Halloweeny. I'm not even dressed up in costume. But I figure it's Halloween. I should upload something for you guys. Like I said, it's not anything scary or new. It's been on my channel for a while, but I kind of changed a few things a bit. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll do a deck profile. I'm actually going to do two today, so you guys get two videos. Good for you. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so we're doing another video. Today's on the Dragons Collide structure deck. This is my deck profile for the deck. This is version 9. And first off, we're going to start with the light attribute monsters. Okay, so first up, we got 3 Light Pulsar Dragons. This card can be special summoned by banishing a light and dark type from your graveyard from play, and it can be special summoned from your hand. Or it can be special summoned while in the graveyard by sending a light and dark monster in your hand to the graveyard. So this card's really, really cool. 6 stars, 2500 attack, 15 defense, 1500 defense. Excuse me. But probably the best part about this card is when it's destroyed. I can't remember. I never can remember if it's by battle or when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard. Target 1 level 5 or higher dark dragon type monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. So that's really cool. This card is just overall really amazing. So yeah, we're gonna go. I'm gonna leave one out, and we'll go over him some more in a second. Okay. So the next 3 monsters we're running, because we're running 10 lights, 10 darks, because it is a Twilight type deck. We're running 3 Raikos, Light Sworn Hunter. Raiko is really awesome by flipping, when this bad boy's flipped face up, you take the top 3 cards of your deck, send them to the graveyard, and then you get to go ahead and pop 1 card on your opponent's side of the field. Monster, magic, trap. It's really great. It's really good with this deck because you need a lot of monsters in your graveyard in order to banish for Light Pulsar, and as you guys will see later, Dark Flare Dragon. So it's just a really awesome card overall. Alrighty. Let's see. Next up, we have 1 Eclipse Wyvern. Ever since they limited, what's it called, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, I figured you only need really just 1 of these, and actually, yeah, you only need 1 of these because now you can only have 1 in the deck. And there's other than that, there's really no use for it. Basically, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish a level 7 or higher light or dark attribute dragon type monster from your deck. And then if this card is banished from your graveyard, you can go and add the dragon type monster you banished with Eclipse Wyvern's effect and add it back to your hand. So really cool card. Obviously, it was really broken with like Red Eyes Darkness Metal. But let's move on. Next up, this is kind of new. We're running 3 Lilas. I kind of like, I actually kind of like having 3. Basically, your turn, you go ahead, you can switch Lila to defense mode, pop a magic or trap card on your opponent's side of the field. That's really cool. Although, once Lila's been switched to defense mode, it can't change back, and not until the end of your next turn. So you kind of got to be careful with that. Also, sometimes people will actually just let Lila live, just because at the end of every turn, you're losing 3 cards from the top of your deck. I've had people just leave her alone. And it's actually, I don't think I've ever lost because of it, but it definitely, like, it's scary. You can deck out, if someone just leaves them alone. But, yeah. So that's it for the light type monsters. Now we're moving into the darks. Alright, for this deck, we're running 3 Necrogardnas. Necrogardnas are really cool. Basically, if this card is in your graveyard, you can go ahead and banish it to negate one of your opponent's attacks. Yeah. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from the graveyard and negate 1 attack from a monster your opponent controls. So, a direct attack, maybe you want to save one of your monsters. Yeah, whatever. You can go ahead and banish this bad boy and keep your life points safe. So that's always really cool. Next up, we're running 3 Dark Flare Dragons. Dark Flare Dragon's pretty cool. He's like Light Pulsar. Banish a light and dark from your graveyard to go ahead and special summon him. And then when he's summoned, while he's out in the field, you can send dragon-type monster from your hand and one from your deck to the graveyard in order to banish any card in either player's graveyard. So he's actually pretty cool, although we don't really use him all that much. Yeah. Alright. Next is Chaos Sorcerer. Chaos Sorcerer is really cool. Basically, by banishing a light and dark type monster from your grave, you can go ahead and special summon this guy. And once per turn, you can go ahead and banish I think it's face-up monster. Yeah, you can target, one face-up monster on the field and banish that target. Unfortunately, this card isn't able to attack during the turn it does it, but it's still really powerful. I remember when this card came out in Invasion of Chaos, it was a common, and I never understood why. It was such a powerful card. So I thought it should have been like secret rare or whatever. Next up we have Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This deck kind of sad now because he's only down to 1. But basically, by banishing a dragon type monster you control, you can go ahead and special summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and then once per turn, you are allowed to special summon a dragon type from your hand or graveyard using Red Eyes Darkness Metal's effect. So he's really, really powerful, and it's very sad that he was knocked down to 1. Although I will admit it needed to be. The deck was it was really overpowered with 3. Next up for the Dark Monsters, we are running 1 Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. Gores is really cool. Basically, if you go ahead and let me read it. I actually have I don't have this effect memorized because I don't use it all too much. I haven't played with this. Well, I haven't played it all in forever. When you take damage from a card your opponent controls, you can special summon this card from your hand. You must control no cards to activate and resolve this effect. When special summoned this way, activate the appropriate effect based on the type of damage. If it's battle damage, you get to go ahead and special summon a Gores token that is, let me see, is it the same level as that monster? Special summon one Emissary of Darkness token, fairy type, light, level 7, attack and defense are equal to the amount of battle damage you took. So you go ahead, let's say you take 2,500 points of damage, boom, summon Gores, summon a Gores token, and let me read its second effect. If it's effect damage, you special summon this card, and then you inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of damage you just took. So that's really cool. So it's good against like magic cylinders or whatever. Your attack backfires. Well, boom, I'm going to throw this guy out and send that damage right back to you. Well, I mean, you'll still take the damage, but yeah, the opponent will take it too. Next up, for the last of the Dark Monsters, we are running 1 Dark Arm Dragon. He can only be special summoned from your hand by having exactly 3 Dark-type monsters in your graveyard, and then during your turn, you can banish Dark-type monsters in your graveyard to destroy cards on your opponent's side of the field. So if you wanted to, just boom, 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 banish 3 in one shot, destroy 3 cards on your opponent's side of the field. Really good card. So, yeah, there we go. Yep. Now we're going into the magic cards. First off, we're running Monster Reborn. Pretty obvious. We are running Pot of Avarice. You don't get a lot of chances to use this card, but when you do, it's actually pretty cool. We're running Allure of Darkness. This card's really good for this deck. You can draw 2 cards, and then by banishing, then you have to banish a Dark-type monster from your hand. Otherwise, you lose all the cards in your hand. So it's really cool. And with this deck, you should have no problem having a Dark-type in your hand. Next up is Charge the Light Brigade. By sending the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, you can go ahead and add any Light Sworn monster from your deck to your hand. So that's really cool. Oh no, 1 level 4 or lower. Sorry. Alright, next up we're running Heavy Storm. Pretty self-explanatory. Burial from a Different Dimension. This card is really cool. Basically, you can take up to 3 monsters. Is it 3 monsters or just 3 cards? 3 removed from play monsters. And go ahead and shuffle them, or no, put them back in your graveyard. So this card's really cool. It'll allow you to recycle and reuse some of your light and darks. That way you can remove them from play for other cards. So, really good. Book of Moon, pretty self-explanatory. Quick play, activate it, flip a monster on the field to face down defense position. You could obviously do this on your opponent's monsters to negate their effects. Or you could use it on Raikou. Maybe you flipped it over during your turn, flip it back down with Book of Moon, use its effect twice. Next up is Foolish Burial. Uh, this card is really good for this deck. You can go ahead and toss out a monster card from your deck and throw it into the graveyard. It's really good. You could toss out Necrogardener, or maybe you need a light type monster or a dark type that you need to throw away so that you can go ahead and special summon one of your Twilight cards. Lastly, for the magic cards, we're going to end them with 3 Mystical Space Typhoons. This card is really great, good for back rows, and you can have 3 of them. Just destroy any one magic or trap card on the field. So there we go. We need a lot of that support these days. Now we're going to go into the traps. We run 1 Solemn Judgment. Pay half your life points. You can negate a monster summon. You can negate a spell, trap, or monster effect. Really good card. So there we go. Next up, we're running Return from the Different Dimension. Don't get a lot of chances to use this card, but when you do, it can actually be pretty cool. Pay half your life points. Special summon as many remove from play monsters as you possibly can. And then at the end of the turn, I think they're removed from play again. Yeah. Remove from play all monsters that were special summoned by this effect. So pretty cool card. You could obviously use it to end the game if you wanted to. Next up, we're running 2 Raigeki Breaks. This card's really cool. You can discard a card from your hand to destroy 1 card in the field. Your opponent plays something like Utopia, or maybe Photon Strike Bouncer. Boom! I don't want to see that. Discard a card, get rid of it really quick. And it's chainable, so even if your opponent uses like MST on it, you can go ahead and I still activate it, discard a card, and destroy whatever card you want on their field. Next up, we're running 2 Call the Haunted. Pretty self-explanatory. Special summon a monster using Call the Haunted's effect. If that monster is destroyed or Call the Haunted's destroyed, boom, they're both gone. Lastly, we're running 3 Escape from the Dark Dimension. This card is really cool. It allows you to special summon a dark type monster that's been removed from play. So that's really cool. Go ahead and read that to you. When this card leaves the field, destroy and banish that target. When the target is destroyed, destroy this card. So there we go. So that's the deck. Actually, wait. I did add this just because I got it. If you saw my birthday opening extravaganza, I got this card in one of the tins. You don't get a whole lot of chances to use it. I wish I kind of had like another 2. But when you do get to use it, you can obviously go ahead. It's Dragon Queen Jin. She needs 2 level 4 monsters, so you could use your Eclipse Wyvern, Lila, or 2 Lilas. You can just go ahead and use whatever. Overlay, get your Dragon Queen Jin, and let me go ahead and read her effect to you so you know what she does. Like I said, rank 4 Dark type, so it's another target for your monsters, your Twilight monsters. She requires 2 level 4s. Dragon-type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, except by Dragon Queen Jin, so that's really cool. It's really good for this deck. Once per turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card to target 1 level 5 or higher Dragon-type monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. It can't attack this turn, and its effects are negated. But that's still really good. Obviously, I wish I had like Gaia Thunder Charger, some Heretic Atom, and the Sun Dragon, which I'll actually be getting, but I wouldn't be able to use it in this deck. Got a text. But so this card's really cool. If you had like Atom and stuff, you could use its effect, get rid of a banish a card. Get rid of your XYZ materials, get back a Light Pulsar. Maybe you have a Light Pulse on your hand and a Light and Dark in your graveyard. Banish them, boom, boom. Special summon this Light Pulsar. Overlay them, get a Heretic Atom, or whatever his name is. So there are a lot of neat applications, a lot of cool things you can do with this card. If anything, it's just kind of a fun card to have. Like I said, I don't think you'll get a lot of chances to use her, but I thought it would be best to use her in this deck. Otherwise, she just kind of sits there in my binder. So, YouTube, I think that's it for my Dragons Collide Structure Deck Profile the 9th. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you guys have any helps and suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you think I'm doing a really great job, or go ahead and let me know. If you don't like me, don't like the videos I do, or you don't like the way I do things, that's okay too. You can go ahead and that. I'm not going to hold it against you. But other than that, this is the thejunksynchronhero signing off. Peace. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. And you guys make sure you have a fun and safe Halloween. Alright, peace out.